Brace yourselves because things are about to get ugly. If you're already wincing at your grocery bill, just wait, it's about to get worse. Food prices are on the rise, and this time, it's not some wild rumor. It's happening. Essentials you rely on every single day are about to hit your wallet like a freight train. And no, I'm not being dramatic. We're talking about 20 specific grocery items that are about to skyrocket in cost by January. These aren't luxury items or some once-in-a-while buys, these are staples, things you probably have in your cart every week. Trust me, you're going to want to know what's on this list before you're stuck paying double, or even more. And here's the kicker, some of these items might surprise you because they're often overlooked. If you don't want to be caught off guard and emptying your savings just to put food on the table, stick around. I'm breaking it all down so you can stock up now before it's too late. Oh, and while you're here, hit that subscribe button. Seriously, don't miss out on content like this. You'll thank me later when your pantry is full and your wallet's not crying. Number 1. Lentils. Lentils might just be the most underrated item sitting on grocery shelves, and if you've been ignoring them, it's time to pay attention. These bad boys are a powerhouse of plant-based protein and fiber, meaning they'll keep you full, healthy, and fueled for hours. Oh, and did I mention they're cheap when dried and last practically forever in your pantry? That's right, stash them now because lentils are about to be worth their weight in gold. Here's the kicker, the world's 2 top producers, Canada and India, are facing some serious heat, literally. Climate change is hammering down on Canada, with unpredictable weather patterns and disastrous rainfall messing up their lentil growing game. This isn't just a little inconvenient, it's a red flag. When producers can't keep up with demand, prices skyrocket. You might not feel it now, but come January or later, those humble bags of lentils could cost you an arm and a leg. If you're one of those people saying, I'll just get EM later, think again. With disruptions like this, it's smarter and cheaper to stock up now before grocery prices bite you in the wallet. Plus, if you care about sustainability, it's worth exploring options for locally sourced lentils. Supporting your local farmers keeps your money in your community and cuts down on transportation emissions, a solid win-win. Now, why do lentils deserve your undivided attention? Because they're versatile champions of the kitchen. We're talking soups, stews, salads, curries, lentil burgers, you name it, they can handle it. Their ability to soak up flavors and deliver a hearty texture makes them a no-brainer for everything from meal prepping to survival food. Whether it's inflation or a storm outside, you'll be sitting cozy with a warm bowl of lentil goodness. Bottom line? Get your hands on green and red lentils before January rolls around, because waiting might leave you with regrets, higher prices, or worse, none at all. Number 2. Peanut butter. Don't sleep on it. Peanut butter is a powerhouse food that you can't afford to overlook. It's packed with protein, healthy fats, and calories, basically everything you're going to need when the shelves start looking bare. Plus, it lasts. This stuff can sit in your pantry for months, even years, without breaking a sweat. It's not just versatile, it's essential. Whether you're slathering it on bread, tossing it into a smoothie, or if we're being honest, eating it straight out of the jar with a spoon, peanut butter gets the job done. No cooking, no prep. Easy. But here's the kicker, peanuts. The very thing that makes peanut butter possible are under threat. Climate conditions are hammering major peanut-producing areas like Georgia and Texas. Droughts, unpredictable weather, and lower harvests have already cut production by about 20% in the last year. Think that's bad? It's only going to get worse. Fewer peanuts mean less peanut butter. Less peanut butter means higher prices or no peanut butter at all. Imagine that. So stop procrastinating. If you're smart, you'll go grab those jars now, whether you're into Jif, Skippy, or some fancy organic brand. Trust me, in a few months, you're not going to care about the label. Peanut butter could be priceless by January. Don't say we didn't warn you. Number 3. Pasta. Pasta isn't just a comfort food for lazy weeknight dinners, it's a survival essential. Seriously, if you don't already have plenty of pasta in your pantry, you're going to regret it when prices climb even higher. Here's the deal, pasta is affordable, it's filling, and it can sit on your shelf for years. What's not to love? But there's a dark cloud on the horizon, and it's coming for your favorite spaghetti and penne. Durum wheat, the magic ingredient that makes pasta what it is in trouble. Extreme weather patterns, especially droughts, have hit hard. North America and Europe, 2 key wheat-producing areas, are struggling. Canada's devastating drought in 2021 slashed wheat production by a staggering 30%, and that's just one example. This has already pushed pasta prices up. Some brands have been forced to raise their prices by 10% or more. Don't say you weren't warned. You've got a chance right now to stock up while there's still inventory on the shelves. Get the good stuff too, Barilla, De Secco, whatever your go-to brand is. Grab various shapes while you're at it: spaghetti, macaroni, fusilli. You're going to want options when prices get even worse or when store shelves start looking bleak. Pasta is your lifeline in the storm. Frankly, if you're not stockpiling pasta, you're playing a risky game. 4. Nutritional yeast. If you're not stocking up on nutritional yeast, you're making a big mistake. This stuff isn't just for vegans, it's a powerhouse. Packed with protein and loaded with B vitamins, nutritional yeast delivers a savory kick with a cheesy flavor that's a lifesaver in any kitchen. Whether you're sprinkling it on popcorn, tossing it into pasta, or using it to elevate a boring meal, it's a game changer. Now, here's the blunt reality you need to hear: our global grain supply, which yeast production heavily depends on, is under serious threat. Climate change and political unrest are wreaking havoc on crops worldwide. That means at some point, this humble ingredient might be either impossible to find or ridiculously expensive. Don't be caught off guard when shortages hit and prices start climbing. This is your wake-up call. Stock up now. Brands like Bragg's offer high-quality options, and the best part? Nutritional yeast is shelf-stable and lasts forever if stored properly. If you're building a stockpile for uncertain times, this is an absolute no-brainer. It's nutritious, versatile, and when everyone else is scrambling, you'll be glad you thought ahead. 5. Canned salmon, the underrated pantry superstar. Canned salmon? Bet you didn't see that one coming. Everyone's out there hoarding tuna like it's the last fish in the sea, but here's the cold, hard truth: you're sleeping on canned salmon. It's packed with omega-3 fatty acids, loaded with high-quality protein, and full of essentials like selenium and vitamin D. When fresh fish is scarce, which, spoiler alert, happens more than you think these days, canned salmon is your secret weapon. But here's the kicker: wild salmon populations. They're in trouble. Overfishing, pollution, and climate change are wreaking havoc on our oceans. Warmer waters are messing with salmon spawning cycles, while industrial operations are just straight up destroying their habitats. On top of that, the global supply chain's been one big disaster lately. If you think getting fresh fish is hard now, just wait a little longer, it won't be getting any easier. That's why smart shoppers are already stacking their shelves with cans of high-quality salmon. Brands like Wild Planet or Chicken of the Sea Pink Salmon provide not only a much-needed nutritional boost, but also peace of mind. Long shelf life? Check. Endless uses? Check. Whip it into salads, toss it in pasta, or slap it on a sandwich, whatever floats your boat. If you're serious about prepping for the unforeseen and eating well while doing it, do yourself a favor and throw some canned salmon in your cart before it's too late. Your pantry and your future self will thank you. 6. Ghee, the underrated survival hero. Next up on the list, let's talk about ghee. Yep, that's right, clarified butter. Most people barely think about butter for survival scenarios, much less its clarified version. But here's the harsh reality: ghee is about to become one of the most priceless items in your pantry, and you'd be foolish to overlook it. Here's the deal. Unlike regular butter that spoils without refrigeration, ghee can sit on your shelf for months or even years without going bad. That means no worrying about power outages, broken refrigerators, or running to the store every week to restock. Not only that, but ghee is loaded with essential fat-soluble vitamins like A, D, and E, all of which your body craves, especially when fresh, nutritious food is unavailable. During tougher times, it's fats like ghee that can give your body the energy it truly needs to keep going. Here's the kicker: climate issues and skyrocketing production costs are coming for the dairy industry, and it's only a matter of time before ghee becomes a luxury few can afford. High-quality brands like Ancient Organics or Fourth Har are already starting to feel the squeeze. My advice? Stock up now while it's still within reach. When January rolls around and ghee's price tag sends you reeling, you'll thank me for this warning. Don't wait for this golden superfood to become a rare commodity. Think ahead and buy smart. 7. Coconut oil. All right, let's cut the nonsense. Coconut oil is the one item everybody overlooks when planning their emergency stash, and honestly, that's a big mistake. This stuff is a powerhouse with endless uses, making it absolutely priceless when things get tough. Think about it. You can cook with it, sure, but that's just the start. Use it as a moisturizer when lotions are gone, a natural remedy for small cuts and burns, or even as a substitute for oil in recipes. It's basically a utility tool in a jar. Try finding that kind of versatility in any other cooking oil. Now, here's what really makes it stand out. Coconut oil has one of the longest shelf lives out there. While most oils turn rancid within months, if stored properly, coconut oil can last for years. Years, people. That alone makes it a no-brainer. But the kicker is this: the production of coconut oil largely depends on tropical countries like the Philippines and Indonesia. These regions are prone to natural disasters, labor strikes, and shipping chaos. If something disrupts that supply chain, prices will skyrocket faster than you can say out of stock. Stop waiting for a shortage to panic buy. Check out reliable brands like Nutiva or Carrington Farms and stock up now. When January rolls around and the shelves are bare, you'll be glad you listened. Coconut oil isn't just useful, it could literally be a lifesaver. 8. Instant mashed potatoes. Don't sleep on instant mashed potatoes. They might not seem glamorous, but in a crisis, they're the kind of thing you'll be thanking your past self for having in the pantry. They last forever. Seriously, their shelf life is insane and they're stupidly easy to prepare. Just add water, stir, and boom, you've got a bowl of comfort food that's filling and satisfying. Plus, they're lightweight and barely take up any space. If you're stocking up on essentials, these need to be on your list. Now, here's the bad news. Weather extremes and crop issues are hammering potato harvests around the globe, especially in the US and Europe. That means rising prices, sporadic shortages, and fewer fresh potatoes on the shelves. Want to avoid paying a premium later or not finding any at all? Get your hands on brands like Idahoan or Bob's Red Mill while they're still affordable and available. Trust me, when potato supplies tighten even further and prices skyrocket, you'll feel like a genius for grabbing those boxes now. Instant mashed potatoes might not be fancy, but they'll feel priceless when everything else is too expensive or gone. Number 9. Dried beans are non-negotiable. Black beans, kidney beans, pinto beans, oh yes, the whole squad deserves your attention. Dried beans are the quiet heroes of your pantry. Why? They're ridiculously cheap, last for years if stored properly, seriously years, and pack a serious punch of protein, fiber, and vitamins that your body actually needs. They're not just food, they're survival tools, especially when grocery shelves start looking emptier than usual. But here's the alarming part you're probably not hearing about. The global production of dried beans is under heavy fire. No, really, it's becoming a problem. Between unpredictable weather, poor harvests, and supply chain issues, this crucial staple is inching towards scarcity. If you're sleeping on stocking up dried beans right now, you could be in for a rude awakening when prices spike, or worse, when they aren't available at all. Trust me, grab some dried beans while they're still affordable and on the shelves. You don't want to be the one paying triple for a bag of beans or being unable to find them at all. This is the kind of silent crisis that people only notice once it's too late. Don't be those people. Number 10. Canned tomatoes. Let's talk about something you might be taking for granted: canned tomatoes. Sure, they're just sitting there in your pantry, but don't underestimate their value. These little cans are a game changer when it comes to survival food. They're versatile, packed with nutrients like vitamins A and C, and form the backbone of countless meals. Soups? Check. Stews? Check. Pasta sauces? Absolutely. But here's the harsh reality: tomato crops are in serious trouble. Thanks to relentless heat waves, punishing droughts, and water shortages, major tomato-growing regions like California and Italy are struggling to keep up with demand. Crops are failing, and the ripple effect is unavoidable. Prices are creeping up, and those once abundant cans could soon be harder to find. Don't say we didn't warn you. Now is the time to stock up. Brands like Hunt's or Muir Glen Organic are solid choices, but honestly, grab whatever's available because these cans are gold. When fresh produce becomes ridiculously expensive or outright unavailable, you'll be glad you stocked up. Canned tomatoes have a shelf life, they're cheap for now, and they'll save you when meal options are slim. Ignore this advice, and you'll be paying triple or worse going without. Be smart. Stock up now. Number 11. Powdered milk. Don't sleep on powdered milk. Seriously. While you're busy grabbing your eggs and bread, this underrated gem might just save you in a pinch, especially when fresh milk starts to disappear or gets ridiculously overpriced. Powdered milk is a pantry powerhouse with a shelf life that puts fresh dairy to shame. We're talking years, not days, and it's packed with essentials like calcium, vitamin D, and protein. Got kids? Elderly parents? You'll thank yourself when they still have access to these nutrients during tough times. But here's the kicker: powdered milk isn't just a backup anymore. It's about to become a necessity. The dairy industry is on shaky ground, with feed shortages, skyrocketing production costs, and supply chain chaos all threatening to make fresh milk as rare as a unicorn. The result? That gallon of milk may soon feel more like a luxury vehicle purchase. Don't wait until you're staring at empty shelves to take action. Add a couple of cans of powdered milk to your shopping list now. Reliable brands like Nestle Neo Fortificata are great options, but snatch up whatever's available. When push comes to shove, having powdered milk on hand might just be the move that saves your family and your wallet. Number 12. Vinegar. This is one of those items that most people overlook until they desperately need it. Don't make that mistake. Vinegar isn't just for salads or fancy recipes, it's a powerhouse that every household should have, especially if you're planning for tougher times ahead. Why? Because vinegar is one of the most versatile and priceless products you can stockpile. First off, it's an incredible preservative. Think pickling and canning. When fresh food becomes hard to come by, vinegar will help you stretch out your food's shelf life by months, maybe even years. No refrigeration? No problem. Vinegar is your survival partner for keeping food edible for the long haul. But that's just the start. Vinegar is also an all-purpose cleaning solution. Forget those pricey cleaning products with confusing labels. Vinegar sanitizes surfaces and disinfects like a pro. It's cheap, safe, and gets the job done. Got fermented foods like sauerkraut or kimchi in mind. You're going to need vinegar for that too. And trust me, fermented foods rich in probiotics are lifesavers when fresh produce becomes a luxury. Gut health matters, especially during chaotic times. Here's the harsh reality: supply chains are unstable, weather conditions are wrecking crops, and inflation isn't slowing down. The raw materials for vinegar could spike in price any moment, so stock up now while it's still affordable. Get yourself a mix: some white vinegar for cleaning, some apple cider vinegar for cooking and health benefits. Brands like Bragg's don't skimp on quality and are worth every penny. Don't underestimate vinegar. It's not just a grocery item, it's a survival tool. January's going to test everyone, and having vinegar on hand gives you one less thing to worry about. That's why it's number 12 on our list. Make sure it's on yours. Number 13, canned coconut milk. Canned coconut milk might not be the first thing that comes to mind when you're prepping for tough times, but trust me, it should be. This stuff is a game changer. It's creamy, rich texture can transform boring meals into dishes that actually feel satisfying. Whether you're whipping up a curry, soup, or even just jazzing up plain rice, coconut milk adds that flavor kick you didn't know you needed. And here's the bonus: it's completely dairy-free, so if milk suddenly shoots up in price or becomes impossible to find, you'll have the perfect substitute. But there's a catch. Most canned coconut milk comes from Southeast Asia, a region constantly hit by floods, extreme weather, and unpredictable export restrictions. If you think these issues don't affect you, think again, because they already have. Prices for coconut milk jumped a good 15% last year, and guess what? They're going even higher this winter. Experts are already waving the red flag. Here's the deal: stock up now. Don't wait until you're standing in the aisle, staring at a ridiculous price tag or an empty shelf. Go for reliable brands like Thai Kitchen or Native Forest organic coconut milk and grab a few cans while it's still affordable. This is the kind of pantry item you'll thank yourself for when things start to feel a little tighter in January. Number 14, stock up on pumpkin seeds now. Pumpkin seeds, they're not just for Halloween leftovers anymore. Sure, most people think of pumpkins as fall decorations or pie ingredients, but they're seeds? Absolute gold. These little green powerhouses are nutritional all-stars, packed with magnesium, zinc, protein, and those good-for-you fats. They're basically a multivitamin wrapped in a crunchy snack. Simple, right? Except there's a catch. Pumpkin seed production isn't as stable as you'd think. Droughts, unpredictable weather, and other curveballs in major production zones like the US. And China? Yeah, they can throw the whole supply chain off balance. This isn't just a theory, it's happening now. And with plant-based protein demand skyrocketing, pumpkin seeds are shaping up to be the next grocery item that's about to break your wallet wide open. Here's the deal. If you want pumpkin seeds without paying a premium, or worse, struggling to even find them, buy them now. Grab the raw, unsalted version and store them properly in a cool, dry spot. They have a long shelf life, so no excuses. By January, while everyone else is whining about the price hike, you'll already have your stash. Don't say we didn't warn you. Time to beat the rush. Number 15, canned pineapple. All right, let's talk about canned pineapple. Why haven't you stocked up yet? It's one of the smartest things you can have in your pantry, and frankly, you're going to regret not buying it soon. Here's the deal: pineapples are primarily grown in tropical areas like Southeast Asia and Central America. Sounds ideal, right? Wrong. These regions are getting absolutely hammered by climate change. Unpredictable weather, massive floods, and bone-dry droughts are wreaking havoc on agricultural yields, and guess what? That includes your beloved pineapples. Add to that a global labor shortage. Whether it's migration patterns, economic woes, or health crises, farmers are struggling to keep things running. And we're not done yet. The shipping industry is still recovering from the chaos of pandemic disruptions. Ports are clogged, shipments delayed. Good luck seeing canned pineapples land on your grocery shelves without a lengthy wait. Here's some cold, hard truth. Fresh pineapple? It's becoming a luxury item. Expensive, unreliable, and downright impractical these days. Meanwhile, canned pineapple? It's cheap, long-lasting, and packed with nutrients. Plus, it's incredibly versatile blended into smoothies, bake it into desserts, or just pop open a can when you're craving something sweet and tropical. You've been warned. The supply chain isn't going to magically fix itself by tomorrow. Prices are climbing and availability is shrinking. Don't sit there thinking you've got time to make space in that pantry now. Canned pineapple might not seem glamorous, but trust me, it's going to feel priceless when the fresh stuff is nowhere to be found. 16 spices. Spices might not be the first thing that comes to mind in survival planning, but they're way more important than you think. Imagine eating bland, tasteless food every single day. It sounds miserable, right? That's exactly why spices are essential. They do more than just make your meals taste better, they save your sanity. When your options are limited to rice, beans, or canned goods, spices can mean the difference between forcing food down and actually enjoying a meal. And it's not just about flavor either. Some spices are packed with health benefits. Turmeric, for instance, has anti-inflammatory properties. Cinnamon can help regulate blood sugar. Garlic powder, a natural immune booster. These aren't just seasonings, they're tools for keeping your body in check during tough times when your usual diet goes out the window. Here's the kicker: spices may very well become a luxury if supply chains get disrupted. Most spices aren't grown in your backyard. They come from all over the world, often from regions already struggling with climate change and instability. If things go south, your favorite spices might disappear from shelves, leaving you with bland meals and zero options. Think this sounds extreme? It's not. It's practical. Stock up on your essentials now: cumin, paprika, oregano, maybe even a little chili powder if you're feeling brave. Brands like Simply Organic or McCormick offer long-lasting, quality spices. Don't wait until crises hit and shelves are empty to realize how important they are. Trust me, your future self will be grateful when you're sitting down to a flavorful meal instead of forcing down something bland and joyless. Get the spices now, you'll thank yourself later. Number 17, dried mushrooms. Here's one thing most people don't realize about dried mushrooms: they're an absolute powerhouse for your pantry. I'm talking about shiitake, porcini, and other nutrient-packed varieties that should be a top priority for anyone stocking up smart. These little fungi are loaded with protein, fiber, and essential minerals like selenium and potassium. They aren't just tasty, they're a secret weapon for nutritious meals when fresh food options are scarce. But here's the thing. Mushroom farming isn't something you just do on a whim. It's insanely sensitive to the weather. A little too much heat, not enough rain, boom, mushroom production goes haywire. And when farming takes a hit, you know what happens next. Prices skyrocket and shelves? They go empty. If you like paying 4x the normal price or staring at empty store aisles, skip the mushrooms. Everyone else, get stocking. Brands like Fungus Among Us deliver high-quality dried mushrooms, and honestly, it's ridiculous not to have a stash in your kitchen. They're lightweight, they last forever, and they bring serious flavor to the table. When fresh veggies are hard to come by in January or any time supply chains decide to break, you'll be glad you have these. Just rehydrate them, they plump right back up, and toss them in a soup, a stew, or even a stir-fry. Your meals will still be packed with rich, earthy flavor and vital nutrients when everyone else is choking down bland, canned food. The bottom line: dried mushrooms might not seem flashy, but they're survival gold. Whether inflation hits hard, crops fail, or the supply chain decides to take a nap, you'll thank yourself later for having these in your stockpile. 18. Look, chia seeds are more than just a trendy health food. These tiny powerhouses might actually save your life one day. Sure, they're all the rage right now among health nuts, but don't make the mistake of brushing them off as just another passing fad. These little seeds are loaded with fiber, omega-3s, and protein. That's right, an insane amount of nutrients for something so small. You can toss them into smoothies, use them in baking, or even mix them with water to make a quick chia gel. Versatile, nutrient-dense, and ridiculously easy to incorporate into your meals. It's a no-brainer, right? But here's the thing: you better act fast. The main sources of chia seeds are countries like Mexico, Bolivia, and Paraguay, places that climate change is hitting hard. Droughts and unpredictable growing conditions are cutting down harvests year after year. Translation? Supply is shrinking, and it's only going to get worse. Don't wait until the shelves are empty. Brands like Better Body Foods or HealthWorks organic chia seeds are still available now, and they come with an impressive shelf life. Once January rolls around and fresh produce becomes scarce, you'll be thanking yourself for having a stash of these nutritional lifesavers. Bottom line? This isn't just a health food, it's a survival tool. Stock up while you can. Because when food shortages hit, Everyone will wish they had been smart enough to grab a bag of chia seeds when they had the chance. Don't say we didn't warn you. 19. Stock up on rolled oats before it's too late. Rolled oats might not be the flashiest item in your pantry, but they're about to become one of the most critical. Not only are they incredibly affordable and ridiculously versatile, but they're also packed with dietary fiber, something you'll crave when fresh produce is hard to come by. You can whip up a hearty bowl of oatmeal on a cold morning, grind them down to make oat flour, or toss them into baking recipes for an added nutritional punch. They're an unsung hero in any meal prep kit. But here's the hard truth: you might not always have access to them. Extreme weather is wreaking havoc on oat production in major cultivation areas like the US, Midwest, and Canada. Droughts, floods, and rising temperatures are crippling harvests, and when there's less supply, you guessed it, prices shoot up and shelves start emptying out. Soon that $4 bag of Quaker oats you take for granted could be $7 or worse, completely missing from stores. If you can get your hands on brands like Bob's Red Mill or even generic store brands right now, don't wait. Stockpile them while they're still relatively cheap and available. You'll thank yourself when you're staring at empty shelves and inflated grocery bills. Don't brush this off. Rolled oats may seem basic, but in tough times, they'll feel priceless. Use your head and get your stash ready now. Number 20. Honey. All right, let's not sugarcoat it. Honey is quickly heading toward luxury item status, and you need to start taking this seriously. It's not just a sweet little treat to drizzle on your pancakes, it's way more important than that. Honey has an indefinite shelf life, making it a survival essential that could outlast you. Beyond just tasting great, it packs a punch with antioxidants and antimicrobial properties, serving as both food and medicine. But here's the problem: honey production is spiraling into trouble. Bees, the tiny miracle workers behind honey, are in crisis mode. Thanks to pesticides, habitat destruction, and climate change, bee populations are declining fast. No bees, no honey? It's that simple. And as the supply dwindles, you can bet that prices are going to shoot through the roof. What used to be affordable might soon feel like a luxury splurge. If you think this isn't your problem, think again. Honey could become a scarce commodity sooner than you think, and when sugar supplies dry up or skyrocket in cost, you'll wish you had stocked up. My advice? Don't wait for the shelves to go empty. Grab raw, high-quality honey now from solid brands like Nature's or Really Raw Honey. Trust me, when honey becomes worth its weight in gold and your pantry is well stocked, you'll be glad you acted before it was too late.